Okay, let's get started on this there, folks. Is my mic picking up something else going on here? I mean, I have background music going on right at this moment in time. I'm hoping that that's not picking up right at this moment. Here, hold on. Let me raise up the volume here real quick. No, it's not. Okay. Hmm. I have some background music going right at this moment in time to keep my headset operational. If it doesn't have some input coming into my headset, it just turns off. So, okay, sorry about that. Welcome back to another 2 p.m. PST Twitch stream. I'm your host, Strange Jim, and today we are going to be getting back into studying some Pega, which let me go ahead and get the uh, page up and running here. Okay, so today we're going to be working on our challenge, the Sizing a Pega Platform project. We'll go ahead and get through that challenge today. Most likely that will probably be the end of it. We're not going to move on to any of the others, um, even though it does say that it's only going to take about 15 minutes. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I figure with both of these though, it might take a little bit more time to try to figure out, or it might be a little too much for the hour session that I have. Normally the 15 minutes tends to go the hour. So, um, but before I go into that, for those of you that have been kind of keeping an eye on my Pega videos, then you know what I'm about to say. If you're brand new to either this Twitch stream right now or to you clicked on this particular video for some reason, I want to, I need to say some things first and foremost, just to make sure that it's always clear every single time. I don't want to make anyone think otherwise, which is, first, these videos are not, these streams are not endorsed by Pega at all right at the moment. So, I keep on telling them, hey, I'm uploading these videos, go check them out because, hey, I'm giving you some feedback on it, but they haven't really, um, you know, did anything more on that, which is, which I feel is unfortunate. One would figure that, hey, any kind of feedback is useful, you know, but you know, what can I say? I'm just a small guy. I'm a voice in the ocean, as I like to say. Um, okay. Um, so it's not endorsed by Pega at all. First and foremost. Um, these videos, these streams are about me trying to get through to get my system architect certification. Okay, and maybe even get the business architect as well. But mainly it's to get the system architect. Um, I was not able to achieve it when uh, the company that I was working for at the time put me through training for it. Um, Me and many of my batchmates didn't really appreciate the trainer at the time. Um, he did a lot of things that we just did not appreciate all that much. and a good majority of us just went to self-study. But even with that, I wasn't able to pass the certification that I was looking for. I still missed uh, too many questions. Now, you know, I do feel like the questions that they were asking were also material that was not, you know, updated to 8.6. I feel that they were still using questions from Pega 7, but it is what it is. Our instructor didn't talk to us about Pega 7, so yeah. Obviously, there were some people that still passed, so I mean, some needed to take it a second time to get through it. I only took it the once, um, so yeah. Um, so I'm going to be working on trying to get those certifications for myself. Now you know, at the same time, I'm kind of doing these videos to maybe help out someone else. If they're going through the certification process as well, maybe my little videos here will help them out. You know, uh, who could say? You know, um, I would like to think that I'm helping someone out in some fashion or another with these videos. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, you know, if you feel that I am, helping you out in some small fashion, then let me know. You know, either Twitch chat or comment down below. I agree. I appreciate any kind of positive feedback. Or constructive criticism. That works too. You know, and I say constructive. If you say something like, oh my God, you suck, then well, that's not constructive. you know, Matter of fact, I'll most likely delete it. Don't really need that. Oh yeah. Now I'm inviting all the trolls, right? Oh well. Um, so that's another thing. Last little bit of information is that I am not an authorized training partner. I don't have any certifications, so I'm not authorized, okay, to be a trainer. Okay. If you want a Pega authorized trainer, then consider going into the instructor-led training. Okay. They do have paid training sessions. Okay, or not. They don't pay you, but you need to pay them. Okay. Uh, I find it to be expensive, hence the reason why I'm not doing that right at the moment. But um, if you can afford it, then hopefully Pega Academy will provide you a decent instructor that will help you go through and get the certifications that you're looking for. Okay. Like I said, the instructor that we had for our company-based training wasn't that great. Now, he was an authorized training partner, but I don't think he was officially part of Pega itself. Um, so he might have had experience with Pega, but not exactly the greatest of trainers. So, be right back. I need to blow my nose here real quick. All right, sorry about that. All right, so just wanted to clear the air on that one. Make sure that everybody knows where, who I am and where I stand in terms of Pega and everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the challenge itself, shall we? All right, so let me go ahead and initialize the Pega instance. So the scenario is prior to beginning work on the roadside assistance application, stakeholders have requested an estimate of the project size and scope. The estimate is used to consider staffing models and provide an approximate delivery date. Using the case designer, assign releases to the channels and data objects associated with the assistance request and service case types. Then run the estimator tool to calculate the sizing estimate for the MLP1 release. The following table provides the credentials you need to complete the challenge. So, we need the username there. Not going to use the video here of the challenge walkthrough unless, of course, there is a problem that I encounter with the challenge itself. Okay, normally I report on a problem with the challenge to those that work for Pega, and hopefully they can correct it for the next user that comes along. But I don't use these walkthroughs unless I absolutely need to. There's only been one instance where I've needed to use it because the instructions weren't very clear, or I didn't really remember what I needed to do in order to get the steps completed. So, all right, let's go ahead and launch it. Now it should be viewable for everybody. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure that when switching between these two, it's still quite viewable. Okay, let's get the password. All right, now it's going to load in the instance on that. So while it's doing that, our detail task, assign a release to the channels. In the navigation pane of the App Studio, click Case Types, Assistance Request to open the Assistance Request case type. So don't need to save the password. Okay, so case types. Give it a little minute before. All right, and it wants me to do the assistance request. Now, notice the fact that, hey, there are multiple case types here. Okay, but we are only looking at the assistance request case type, not the other one. So, in the create stage, under personas and channels, click the user portal for the CSR persona. So we're not doing anything with the um, with the stage, with the process, with the steps. We're just looking at the personas. So, excuse me. All right. And it was the create stage, right? Yeah, okay. So click the user portal for the CSR portal. So we're clicking on that. And it's going to be bringing over the bringing up this over on the right hand side, and it wants me to modify this. So on the channel properties pane on the release list, select MLP1. On the complexity list, select OOTB. So we're going to be doing both of those, MLP1 and OOTB. Repeat steps 2 through 4 to update the remaining channels using the values in the following table. Save your changes to systems request case type before implementing the changes for the service case type. Alright, so we got a lot of values to change here. So under user portal and user mobile app, we're doing release 1 and 2, and then L2B and medium. So user portal, MLP1, OTB, and this is 2 and medium. Yeah. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so under validation for user portal, MLP1 and OTB. So that was for user, right? Yeah, for user. Okay. Okay, service, same thing. Just want to make sure that the validation, service, and resolution are the same. So here we go. All right, and resolution, same thing. User portal, so on and so forth. So there we go. All right. Now for the approval rejection, we're going to be modifying those. So which they want the CSR and the user. So all right. So user portals are both MLP1 and OTB. This one is MLP2 with a complexity of medium. Yeah. All right. Now, last one is service. Which CSR, service provider, user portal, MLP1, OTB. So, one second. Oh, okay. They want me to move on to the other case type of service here. Right, they wanted me to handle everything in the request assistance or assistance request case type first before moving on to the service. All right, makes sense. So we're gonna go ahead and save that. All right. Now that that's saved, we'll move on back here to service. And they want me to modify this to MLP1 OTB, and same with that. There you go. And we'll go ahead and save that. And let me confirm that it is indeed user portal MLP1 and OOTB for both of them. So MLP1 and OOTB. So yeah, it should be fine. All right. I mean, you want to click save before you move on to the other case type. So technically, they really should be kind of splitting this into two separate tables. Um, with the instructions of, hey, you need to click save before you leave assistance request to go to the service case type. One would hope that anybody reading these instructions will do that, but you know, maybe not everybody, but um, so we'll have to, I'll leave that one alone though. They mentioned already that save your changes to the assistant request case type before implementing the changes for the service case type. So they've already kind of addressed it, so it's okay. Complexity indicates how much time the development team needs to implement the channel. Implementing a channel includes completing all the actions necessary for a persona to begin using a channel. Even OOTB personas and channels require further configuration and testing before they are marked as done. I'm not so okay. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but I don't really remember what OOTB is. And they haven't really addressed that either on here. Hmm. Out of the box. Hmm. Complexity is out of the box. What the heck do they mean by out of the box complexity? That doesn't really make that much sense to me. Out of the box is a native feature or built-in functionality of a product that comes directly from the vendor and works immediately when the product is placed in service. In the context of software, out-of-the-box features and functionality are available for all users by default and do not require customization, modification, configuration, scripting, add-ons, modules, third-party tools, or additional fees in order to be used. And this is according to Wikipedia, of course, for out of the box. Now, again, I don't know if you know, if OOTB here is what they are also referring to as out of the box. But if that's the case, then really the only thing that really has any kind of value here is the medium complexity, and that's it. So everything else has been pretty much done for you if it's supposedly out of the box, right? So now I'm sure that there might be like maybe a little bit of configuration, maybe for a lot of this, a lot of the out of the box features. Um, potentially. Um, Hard to say. Okay. Okay. So we're at our step two here. In the create stage of the assistance request case type. Okay. So we're heading back there. Okay. Let me go ahead and save it again, just in case. Just in case I might have like missed anything. Going back to assistance request here. Um, I'd almost say that it'd probably be great if they could kind of just maybe I know that they're kind of repeating the steps anyway. Um, for assistance request and service. But I mean, it'd be kind of nice if I could have done the data and interfaces here before needing to handle the service information here. You know, Allow for me to kind of modify, the data and interfaces prior to moving on to the other case lifecycle. But in so doing, then that would have required, them to kind of do like, a step 3 for service and a step 4, down here for service as well. So, on one hand, I can understand them not wanting to do that, to try to not have to repeat themselves all that much. But at the same time, um, it's taking a person, it's having the person kind of transfer between the two um, case types over and over again. So I don't know. I would find it kind of difficult for them to um, figure out a way that um, they can kind of work with what they have to do, what I'm suggesting, without having to, make a 3 and 4. Um, unless, unless what they do is they kind of combine step 1 and 2 together. Um, basically hey, um, do step 1 here for all the assistance requests. Do step 2 for all the data and interfaces for all the assistance requests. Then repeat, steps 1 through 10 or something like that for the service or something like that, right? They could do that, maybe. All right. In the create stage of the assistance request case type under data and interfaces, In the customer data object, click Pega. In the configuration pane, select the Read checkbox. Uh, so um, I want to make sure here. In the create stage, which we're in, of the system request case type, which we're in, under data and interfaces, in the customer data object, click Pega. So customer data object, we're in the create stage, we're in data interfaces, so we're in the right spot, right? So in the configuration pane, select the read checkbox. So, there we go. In the system details section, select the existing API checkbox. Okay. In the release list, select MLP1. In the complexity list, select low. Oh, no, it's low. Never mind. And low. Woke up early again this morning and it's like, gotta go to sleep earlier. I keep on staying up late. Just what I do, I guess. Alright. Alright. Repeat steps 2 through 5 to update the remaining data objects using the values in the following table. Save your changes to the system's request case type before implementing the changes for the service case type. So, okay, so under the create stage, under service address, vehicle information, and Pega, payment information for Pega, we don't need to worry about read or existing API. We just need to make sure that the release is MLP1 and low. So for the remaining under create, so although I don't think we included the NHTSA model data. I don't think that's, yeah, we don't need to worry about that. So, right. Server address, vehicle information, and payment information. Yep, there we go. There we go. Okay, so for service provider, and then we have read an existing API. We have MLP1 and low. All right, so we have next we have resolution. um, which is the last one over here. Services offered. No check marks, just MLP1 and medium. So there you go. And this one was low, right? Yep. Okay. Just making sure. All right. Now we are going on to the approval rejection. And then we're going down to our two data objects here for customer and payment information. We're selecting these. For customer, we have right and um, existing API. Just making sure here. Yep, right. And then we have both of them as MLP1 and low. So this one is MLP1 and low. And this one has no check marks, is MLP1 and low. There we go. Okay, now we save it and we move on to the service. There we go. Okay, so for service, under service, services offered, we're doing the read and the existing API. And then it's MLP1 and low, and then we have this other check mark over here, which is mark as done. Okay. Okay. In the create stage of the assistance request case type, so we're going right back there again. So let's go ahead and save that. Which they didn't address there. Just saying, you know. Okay, so okay, so on the create stage of the assistance request case type and the NHTCA model data object, click Pega. So this one right down here, click Pega, and we want in the select system list, select create new. Okay. So apparently we're going to be creating a brand new wait, what? In the create stage of the systems request case type and the NHTSA model data object, click Pega, which I did. There we are. In the configuration pane, in the select system list, select create new. Oh, here, create new. Create new. There we go. Okay. Adding that in. Click submit. Okay. Okay. So now we have a new system in place there, apparently. Update the NHTCA SA model data object using the values in the following table. So systems request create NHTSA model data um, data source. Um, Read an existing. MLP1 and high. Okay, and nothing else is ready, or nothing else needs to be done there, so we're clicking on save. All right. Search. Okay, in the navigation pane of the App Studio, click Overview. In the Application Overview section, under the Application Profile, click Manage to open the Application Profile line-in page. Alright, so we're all done there. We're just going to go ahead and click Save one more time. And we're going to go to Overview. What do they need me to do? Under Application Profile, click Manage. Ah. Excuse me. I apologize. Didn't get a good night's sleep, I guess, last night. So, okay, select the estimator tab. In the release list, select all. Okay, so estimator. In the release, select all. In the delivery list, select agile, which it's already been selected for us, so we don't necessarily need to worry about that. Number teams field, enter 1. In the Scrum maturity list, select medium. So 1, medium. In the staffing model list, select co-production. In the environment list, select Pega Cloud. So co-production, Pega Cloud. In the organization complexity list, select low. In the data import effort list, select low. Okay. Click the calculate estimate to view the estimated size for all the releases. Estimated size for releases may vary for applications based on the values selected in the estimator tool. Yeah. Okay, so they're estimating based off of, you know, everything that is done here that the current team that you have with this, will take 8 to 11 weeks to finish everything. Um, will require, you know, 1,200 to 1,700, Pega hours, 13 to 1,900 client hours. Um, you have your Pega resources and client resources, items by complexity, number of case types, number of personas, number of channels, number of data objects, and there you go. Very handy if you're trying to like figure out um, kind of what you're looking for overall. But obviously, um, not you know you would need to make sure that you basically add in the complexities here on this, which means that you're gonna need to kind of build in the case types, the stages, the personas, the portals, and so on and so forth here. Like, um, some of these might not be out of the box. You might need them to be worked on like completely. They might be high, which might require, might change, your overall estimate, right? So first off, let me go ahead and verify the challenge. We got 5 more minutes, so after, ooh, hello. Application has a service case type, a service stage that contains a CSR persona that uses the user portal. User portal has an MLP1 release. Did I miss the checkbox? Oh yeah, okay. I missed the markets done up here for those as well. Gotcha. All right, there we go. There we go. Challenge complete. All right. But before we move on here, what I'd like to do is I'd like to change the complexity to high on everything here. Just basically say, hey, these haven't been done, and they might require a lot of time to make them. The complexity might be extremely high on building them. Blah blah blah, right? Not to say that they are, just saying, um, um, like if they need to be modified or they uh, they need to be created from scratch kind of thing, and they might need to um, they might need someone to kind of go through the process here, right? Of all these and you know handle everything that is being um, the complexity might be subjective. Just bear in mind, okay? You know, um, one person's um, one person's easy might be another person's extremely hard, for example. So, um, obviously, it's kind of dependent on the team, really, right? If you don't have like a lot of um, Pega senior developers or something like that, maybe you have a team that is like completely filled with just you know, brand new trained Pega system architects, and that's it. That's all you have. You don't have any leads for some reason. You don't have any seniors for some reason. You just have, fresh new developers, right? Well, then you might need to consider, complexity is high, for example, right? So now let's go back out to the overview here. We'll go to the manage estimator. Um, Now, if we do Scrum maturity of low, you know, um, meaning that they might need to select clients' experience with Scrum projects. Um, they might not be completely familiar with how to handle Scrum, for example, right? Um, Organization complexity is high. Data import effort, let's kind of set it to high, right? So, you know, the estimate hasn't been recalculated yet. So let's go ahead and calculate again, and there we go. Notice the fact that the duration has changed because of it. Um, the the amount of total hours was also kind of changed because I'd modified all of the personas and channels and so on and so forth um, to high complexity as well. You know, so just kind of bear that in mind with it all. So handy little tool. If but obviously you're gonna need if you're making case types, you know, um, you kind of need to have like um, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, like a base, like a skeletal structure, foundation of your application first. Handle all the case types and so on and so forth. You know, um, with with the application profile to kind of do the estimator. It feels like. Um, Even though um, it's not, it doesn't feel like they're taking everything into consideration, seeing that there's two different case types, not just one here. So, hmm, not sure. Um, Although, bear in mind, you know, they, um, the number of teams here, they're taking into the fact that you have, a lead system architect and a senior system, two senior system architects as well, you know. So, so just kind of bear that in mind in these as well. So, you know, maybe maybe you don't necessarily have the number of teams, right? But they're basically saying, hey, no, wait, hold on. You need to have these. Well, maybe not always, you know. Um, like in the last team that I was a part of, um, I don't think anybody really, notified me that, hey, one of them is the lead system architect and, two of them were senior system architects. I don't think I really, I mean, um, one member of our team probably could have been considered a senior system architect. I don't know if he had already gotten his lead system architect though. So, and I don't even know if our, person in charge was considered a, project delivery leader. One would hope that he is, but, at the same time, I'm not sure, you know. But, that's um, neither here nor there anymore. Doesn't really matter anymore. I'm not a part of that team. So, um, so just kind of bear that in mind, you know, uh, when you're moving forward. So, and that's going to be it. We are done with um, this particular challenge. We are going to be moving on to the next module in the low code app builder extended. Um, let's go ahead and we're going to be looking at adding optional actions to a workflow tomorrow. It's supposed to be only for 15 minutes, um, which is probably 10 minutes for the topic and then 5 minutes for the module quiz. Yep. So be kind of interesting to see, one that had, 5 minutes for the topic, but 10 minutes for the quiz. That would be kind of scary, I would imagine. But yep. Okay. So that's going to be it for our Pega study session. We're going to go ahead and move on over to our just chatting. Um, so for those of you that are watching this on YouTube, we are going to go ahead and close on down. So, um, if you like what you saw, do everything, that would help me out as a channel. You know, um, MatPat said something about like, just kind of leave like one suggestion or something like that. It's kind of, that always seems very difficult to me to consider, what you could say to basically say, hey, do all these things that could help out the channel. Hmm, don't know. Especially if someone's never even done YouTube before, which, is like a little odd, obviously. You'd be like, you know, first time experiencing YouTube? Wait, what? Who knows? Maybe they've never used it before. Um, but um, you know, um, But I mean, you can probably look back on my older videos and see everything that I ask. Okay. Um, but yeah, go ahead and consider that. That would greatly help me out on that. Um, check out the other videos concerning Pega. I also have another playlist concerning the Unity um, game that I was building for a while. Hence, and that has hence stopped. But we'll see about maybe trying to redo it because I felt like I was putting a lot of bloat on the on the game. So I'm probably gonna want to look into redoing it. Um, I might need to kind of reattempt that. Maybe trying to relearn something. Maybe just kind of study, other people in what they did to get a top-down grid game working. Um, but I mean, that's you can check my um, playlist for that if you want. Also got multiple playlists for all the games that I play as well. You know, um, Just Life. Um, all the games. You know, just multiple different playlists. So feel free to check those out if you want. Um, they're long videos, but they're there for your entertainment if you want to watch them. Okay. But that is going to be it. So um, we're going to be continuing this again tomorrow. So feel free to stop on by, and yeah, that's gonna that's it. So thank you, and I'll see you all next time. So stop recording.